period. Because if it was one of us, we all would have been indicted by now for the smallest stuff. So all we're gonna do is sit here, sit back, wait and see. But our next guest, do not forget, I'm sorry, on April the 12th, right here at the house, we have our 14th rally, Faith Over Fear, the celebration for first responders and veterans. Y'all come here. Ain't no riots gonna happen. It's just gonna be a lot of good time and food. And then do not forget, the polls close or the ballot close for the NRA Board of Directors ballot is April the 9th. If you still have it, remember to check my name for the Board of Directors. Our very next guest, it's like uh, Baroche, Baroche. I even did pronunciation on being just to get the last name right, but I got the first name. She is a Florida sitting state representative, Yvette from Naples, which is District 81. I'm not tearing up your first name, Yvette. You can forget about it. Your last name, I'm not going to tap your last name. How are you doing?
I'm good. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me. And it's very simple. It's Benarroch.
Bella Roach. There's not an L in though. There's not an L in there.
Benarroch with an N.
Oh, Benna Roach.
Yes.
Yes, Juan Pacheco is over there cringing right now because he keep trying to get me to roll my R's. How are you doing? Elected newly, I can say newly elected because you elected last year, and you are in Naples and over the Naples district and Lee County area, and then you had Byron Donalds actually endorse you for your seat. How was that?
So, first of all, thank you for having me. It is an honor to be here as an Air Force veteran. I appreciate the opportunity to continue to serve this country now as the newly elected state representative for District 81, which encompasses Naples and Marco Island in Collier County. And having the endorsement of probably the greatest congressman and my congressman, Byron Donalds, is it's an honor. We've been in this fight together for a long time. I am happy to say that I was with Team Byron since before Team Byron was ever that, and before he was elected congressman. So it was an honor for me to have his support, and I will support him for to be our next governor.
Wait a minute. So Lee County is up there by Punta Gorda, Port Charlotte area, and then it's Collier County right under that one, and all of that encompass Lee County, right?
So Lee is the Fort Myers, Cape Coral, that's north of Naples. So I am in Naples and Marco Island, so Collier County, District 81.
How do you like it down there? Because there's a used to be RC. What is it? REC down there, and his name is actually Mark Cousino, and he was saying that the snowbirds. There's a lot of people that's down there in Collier County, Lee County area, but they don't stay long. They only come down here for like the wintertime up north, and then they come and migrate back down in the south. Are you seeing a big fluctuation of differences when it comes to the citizens of Collier County, District 81?
So I've been in that area since 2004 when I first arrived to Florida, literally knowing one person. I had one cousin in Naples. I usually, many of you know, I come from Puerto Rico. I moved here looking for a better way of life and to live my American dream. So I knew one person in Naples. And so I've seen the changes from 2004 till now. We used to be able to have summers where there was almost no one there, but that doesn't happen anymore. And of course, we're grateful for those snowbirds that come to our county and help move the economy and, help us with those philanthropic things that we do to help our community.
How is it being in Tallahassee and then coming back down to District 81? Are you getting a lot of things accomplished this time around, or this your very first time in office?
So I don't get to travel home a lot because it's a 7-hour drive, and we don't have a direct flight from my area. So, and I rather drive. I mean, I enjoy the drive, but it's been great. It's been a great experience. being under this new speaker, our speaker is amazing. He has made everything so much easier for us as freshmen because literally it's like drinking from a fire hose. So it's very fast paced. I'm a fast paced person, so I appreciate every minute of it. And I enjoy just not only the process and making good policy that would help our communities, but also meeting with our constituents and helping them to get where they need to be because unfortunately government is has a lot of bureaucracy and sometimes it's very difficult for our constituents to know where to get the help. So I'm happy that we prioritize constituent services in my district and we've been able to help many out there.
Like you said, you are originally from Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico. Hey, hey. I got to do that every time I say Puerto Rico. Why did you actually join the Air Force of all the branches in the military? And then once you got out of the Air Force, you just jumped head in. You didn't go to commissioner, you didn't go to tax collector. You went straight to the the state house. What was that? Because that's like a big change from Puerto Rico and then Air Force, then you're veteran. Now you are sitting a state representative of Florida. What made you do all that and continue going after getting out of the military?
So it was never a plan. So in the Air Force, to be completely transparent, I joined in 1990 because I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. My mom wanted me to be an engineer, and I have to admit I tried, but I don't have that engineer brain. So the next best thing was to join the military. And I joined the Air Force because my hair was down to my waist, and they told me I didn't have to cut it. And I'm glad I did. No offense to anyone, but the Air Force is the best branch ever. And sorry for those who served in another one, but they always make fun of me and the Air Force. But being in politics was never a plan. So, like I said, I arrived in Florida in 2003. I met my husband, had my children here, and my husband and I own a business. And I just saw how difficult it was because I felt like nobody could relate to everyday struggles.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided, to get involved in politics in 2018 as an activist. So I did a lot of activism. I volunteered with many campaigns. I'm a Republican, I'm a conservative. So I wanted to make sure that we had the right people in office. I've worked with Senator Scott, Congressman Donalds, Governor DeSantis, President Trump. I did it all. And when this seat came available, because of term limits, I had a conversation with Congressman Donalds and I said, it's anybody interested in running for this seat? And he said, no. And I said, well, do you think I would make a good representative? And he said, oh my God, if you do that, I will endorse you. And I talked to my family and here we are today. This is proof. I say this is my American dream, and only in this country you can come with nothing and make something out of yourself. So for those out there, believe me when I tell you this is the greatest country in the world, and we need to continue to fight for it. Never give up on it because there's no other place like the United States of America.
Do you see any opposition right now for you fulfilling some of the roles and some of the priorities that you have set for the District 81?
No, thankfully we have a supermajority here in Florida, and like I said, we have a great working relationship between the governor's office and the legislature. We sometimes have to have those stuff, conversations and disagreements, but that is healthy. That is how our country was founded on. We're supposed to have disagreements. We're supposed to have those discussions and negotiate, right? So we can get the best product to the people, after we all sit down at a table and have those conversations. So the process works in the end. So I just tell people, don't ever give up on it because we're here fighting for you.
My husband and I have been trying to crack open Naples. We have spoken in Jacksonville. We've spoken over there by the villages. We've spoken in Florida over 20 different times in the last 3 years. And the only place that we've really tried to get into was Naples down there. So Mark Cousineau was really trying to talk to the RAC person, the state representative, Byron Donalds, to actually get us down there into Naples. Now, because what people don't know about Naples, it's not a poor area. I'm just being
Well,
honest. It's and it's very beautiful, very pristine. Every community have their issues, but when it comes to Naples, that's a big part of Florida where people always talk about Naples or what President Trump says, Tallahassee, Miami, Orlando, different things like that. Do you see that trifecta when you're saying it is a super majority of really getting all of Governor DeSantis' priorities and goals done before he actually stepped down, before term limits is actually up?
so our governor has done a great job and he's in his last 2 years. So of course, we're working with him to make sure that we pass a conservative agenda and an agenda that ultimately helps our communities. I'm gonna go back to Naples. So Naples, yes, we're thankful for the wealthy people that come to Naples, but let me tell you, the great thing about my district in particular is I have a diverse community there.
Mm-hmm.
I have working class, I have a lot of wealth, and I have vulnerable communities. So it is an honor for me to be able to serve all of them. And I'm working for all of them and I'm giving a voice to all of them because in order to have a good community, we need a little bit of everything. And I'm just so thankful to be representing that district. And just know that we're working very hard, all of us together, to make sure that we continue to do great things in Florida.
Now, when it comes to your constituents, what are some of the feedback you have given as being a junior freshman or a freshman as a state representative?
So we get a lot of most of the things we help people with is trying to navigate the bureaucracy that government has, right? There's all these resources out there, and a lot of times people don't know where to go, who to ask. So our office makes sure that they get directed to the right department, agency, person, and we always follow up to make sure that their issue got resolved. So that's mainly what we do. The feedback I get, I'm always going to say we are not all going to agree on everything. I've been married 20 years and I disagree with my husband probably 90% of the time, and we're happily married. Again, those are healthy conversations. But for the most part, I always listen. I always do my research before I take my votes. I ask questions, and I will make sure that when I take that vote, I don't compromise my values and my principles, but I will fight always for my community.
What are some things that you would love to get sponsored or co-sponsored for the state of Florida?
So, funny you ask. I have this one bill that deals with name, image, and likeness. It is about high school sports.
Mm-hmm.
So they get compensated right now, but the agent portion of it is not regulated. So it's a wild, wild west out there. And even though I am for less regulation, there's a reason why we have limited government, right? If we were all angels, we wouldn't need government at all, and we would all live in a free society without any interference. But we all know that's not the case. So my bill, it's gonna try to put some guidelines there to make sure that our students don't get take advantage of when it comes to their talents. I mean, we have some agents out there charging between 20 and 30% in
Wow.
commissions. I mean, that's a big chunk of money.
At high
Um,
school, for high school recruits?
so we're going to make sure that that comes down to a 5% right now, and we're working to make sure the bill continues to get better, and hopefully it's something that we will be able to pass to make sure that we protect our students.
Now, I'm going to talk about Byron. Do you like him? Has he made the announcement he's running for governor yet?
Yes, he did. And we have the kickoff on the 28th in Bonita Springs at, I believe it's 6 p.m. So I'm going to travel home. I wasn't going to travel home this weekend, but I will travel home this weekend just to attend and be there with him. He has been with me from the beginning when nobody thought I could win this race. You guys thought I could win this race because you guys endorsed me, and I'm so thankful. And I will never forget that you believed in me when not many people did. And he was one of those. Out of the gate, he believed in me because he knows how hard I have worked. And um, so I am just thrilled to be there with him when he finally kicks off his campaign for governor.
Because you was endorsed by Veterans for America First, and I know that being endorsed, also you could become an ambassador. And with you being a veteran, what are some key things that you want to help your veterans in the state of Florida or around the United States? Because there's still some bills and laws that can be implemented to make sure that y'all get the right benefits that you need and get all of your benefits before anyone else. Because I always say when you sign up to be a veteran, you're signing up to be a martyr for our nation. What are some things that you would like to see as being a part of the Veterans for America First that you actually want to see accomplished to help the veterans?
So one thing, as we all know, veteran services are mainly a federal issue. So we can only do so much at the state level, and we continue to try to do things to give access when it comes to medical health. We try to make it easier for veterans, but we still run into issues. I mean, sometimes we don't have enough doctors. My dad was a Korean War veteran. He passed away December 30th. And I believe it in my heart. If we had better access to things, he would still be alive. So one of the things that I want to do is to go up to Washington, D.C. with a delegation from Florida.
Mm,
We do need to fight at the federal level because, when we sign up voluntarily, our oath of service has no expiration date, and we are fighting to continue to have a country, the great country that we have. And I feel like we have been left behind. And in the military, we leave no men behind.
right.
But this country has left us behind. And it's time that things get fixed. Um, so hopefully we will have a delegation from Florida to go speak to some of our congressmen and women up there and senators to make sure that they take care of our veterans because it is not right that we leave our men behind.
With the Department of Education being axed at the federal level, sort of, kind of, but it's being sent back to the state level. And you're going to be able, as a sitting representative, have a lot more say in the laws and the procedures when it comes to our children education. What are some things what you want to see done now that you actually get a voice in it?
So education is probably one of the most passionate things that I want to do up here. I want to continue to make sure that every child has access to a good quality education. We need to go back to the days where we concentrated on the things that mattered: reading, writing, math. There's a bill right now that a lot of people, look at it like, why do we need to bring back cursive to school? Cursive was extremely important when it came to fine motor
Everything.
skills. It's more than the writing.
Mm-hmm.
The brain, you think, you analyze things better. And so there's a bill right now running in the Florida House that I'm happy to support that wants to bring back cursive. We need to stay out of this ideology stuff. That is not helping our children. I also want to bring some more attention to the trades, when it comes to exposing our students to there's more than universities and
Yes.
colleges. There needs to be options for every family to choose what's best for them. So my goal is to make sure that every child gets a good quality education so that they can succeed because we all know that education a lot of times is a pathway to success and out of those vulnerable communities that we all have. And so I will fight for that every day.
So the trade school and vocation school, that means apprenticeships, electrician, plumbers, car mechanics, all that. What about an incentive for maybe juniors or seniors, just like they do with higher education and taking college classes, but actually getting some of those credits in high school that goes towards a vocational school to pick up a trade? And I didn't even know they stopped cursive because I always said if they don't know how to write their name, guess what? We're gonna go back to slavery where they either put in a big old X by their name, and they're not gonna have a clue. I did not know that they no longer teach cursive.
Yes, we're gonna make it mandatory now because unfortunately, as again, here we are with something that's just common sense, right? Now we have to create a law to make sure that it gets done. And unfortunately, this is what happens every day. Like you would think it's common sense that you keep those things in place, but then you don't, and then we have to step in as a state and then create a new law to make sure that we keep that kind of things in schools. Um, yeah, going back to the trades, that is something that I am working on. I actually have a bill that I will continue to work on. I think it'll be ready next session, and will address all those things, including what you just spoke about, which is more of, you know, I want to bring it more to the middle school. So, like eighth grade, right?
Ooh,
So, by the time
okay.
you go to high school, you kind of already kind of have an idea where you want to go. So, you don't waste time taking classes that you don't need to. And because I think I see it, I have teenage boys. I have my own opinion about boys in schools. I don't think, to be honest, our education system is made for boys. I mean, science tells you boys have a lot of energy, and this sitting down 8 hours a day in a classroom without moving, it's almost impossible. So I think children are stressed out. A lot of our students are stressed out. Our teachers are stressed out. Our parents are stressed out because we're not concentrating on the things we need to concentrate on. So I'm hoping that little by little we can change and go back to sure that our students are learning what they need to learn and whatever path they choose that we're helpful.
Okay, because right up 75 from I would say Port Charlotte area all the way up to, the state line, you have businesses all up and down the corridor. Would it be feasible to start teaching them in 8th grade, sort of some of the stuff, technical work, and then as they're getting into high school, maybe getting in partnership with a lot of these big businesses and corporations, so they after they completed their apprenticeship, they have a guaranteed job, and then that's another way of actually starting them on the right feet. The foot they're start learning their trade in middle school. As they're entering high school, they're finishing the reading, writing, arithmetic. When they started getting up in like the junior, senior year, they go back into that trade and actually get that hands on or finish up their credits that's needed. And then they have a guaranteed job for whatever company that is already partnering in with you and your bill. So instead of having worker bees being turned out by
And
the
that's the
actual
plan.
schools.
I had
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and that's the plan. Yeah, no, that's the plan because we need to work all of us together with private entities to make sure that we can that it works. So I had a meeting today with Southwest Florida Chamber of Commerce, and they said once the bill starts, heading, I'm working on the bill right now to make sure it's ready for next session. We'll meet with them and see how they can help, but it's going to take all of us to work together to make sure that we can retain that workforce in our local areas because ultimately that's what we want.
It's better than having them code. We got 2 minutes left. My husband is doing all of this. We got 2 minutes. Go ahead and plug your tags where people can find you. There's a lot of people that live in Florida. Just in case everybody out there watching right now, if you're in District 81, and that is the Collier District or Collier County area, Naples area. Y'all, please go follow her. She's going to keep you up to date. If you have any concerns, any ideas that might can help her, or you just want to volunteer. So, Yvette, if you don't mind, please.
Yeah, so you can always reach out to my email, Yvette, that's Yvette, Benarroch, at flhouse.gov. And just know that I'm honored to serve District 81, but I serve all Floridians, and I will always listen to your concerns, and I always live with integrity, and I always work to make Florida a better place for our families, veterans, and small businesses.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Yvette. Everybody else, we're at the top of the hour. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back. Thank you. All
Thank
right.
you.
Are you tired of mass-produced products that have no originality and no personal style? Well, Mama Nancy makes everything herself. No mass production lines or warehousing. When you get a Nancy bag, you know that only one person made that bag from start to finish. So go to www.fallbackusa2.myshopify.com and pick out yours today.
Hi. I was not supposed to be on. We were just finished talking about one, knowing that I tore his last name up. I think I called him Pachenko, but I probably got that wrong. So welcome back, everybody, to the Real News with Lucretia Hughes. Get over there to fallbackusa2.myshopify.com. Council suck. We the people told you so. Pretty much.
What? Just stick to Pika Pika.
Pika Pika. I was trying to get, fancy. I didn't get her name. It's Yvette Benarroch. And Warren just shaking his head. So welcome back, everybody. Make sure y'all get over there and donate. April the 12th right here. Faith Over Fear Rally. Yes, Dave. Get up, walk around, stretch your legs. I got pee. And see, Warren, I got to sit here for 2 hours. He be getting up, walking around, doing everything. So, hey, Trish, what's going on? Hey, Chris Fowler. What?
I've been in that chair since 10 o'clock in the morning.
Doing some hard work, Dave.
Well, we both been
Hey there, what's going on? Warren, how you doing out there, Trish? What's going Mayberry? No, she texted me earlier today. Hey, Christy Fowler, what is going on? Spelling what and stressed out? Stressed to my 37-year-old. I've been doing a lot of books, small stuff over there on Amazon. And now